The PBA is live on ESPN. Our 5 finalists from Medford, Oregon are ready to roll. First, the 1987 PBA Rookie of the Year. He won his 4th career title earlier this season in Latham, New York. From Elmira, New York, Ryan Shafer. He finished 2nd in a thriller last week in Seattle, and today makes his 4th TV appearance of the season. A 2-time titleist from Wichita, Kansas, Lonnie Waliczek. From Lockport, New York, near Buffalo, he was last season's PBA Rookie of the Year, 2nd in the PBA World Rankings, looking for his 1st career title today, Brad Angelo. From Flushing, Queens, New York City, he's 5th in the PBA World Rankings. Today makes his 2nd TV appearance of the season. Tries to add to his 2 career titles, Tommy DeLutz Jr. Half of the only father-son duo in the PBA Hall of Fame. His 29 career victories are 4th all-time, including the Triple Crown from St. Anne, Missouri, near St. Louis. The one, the only PDW, Pete Weber. That is the final 5 from Medford, Oregon today. Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson. Randy, let's check in with our matchup. Let's check in with our matchups now from Medford, Oregon. As we are ready from Lava Lanes, the PBA Tour live on ESPN continues.
The wild card match pits Ryan Shafer, who can break the $1 million mark in career earnings by reaching the final match, and Lonnie Waliczek, rebounding from last week's crushing defeat in Seattle. In semifinal number 1, it's Brad Angelo making the 2nd TV appearance of his career, taking on Tommy DeLutz Jr., who looks for his 1st win since November of 2001. PDW Pete Weber, the PBA World Ranking leader, awaits the wild card winner in semi number 2.
Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, our entire crew, are ready to go after our matchups from the Medford Open in Medford, Oregon. Stop number 2 in the 2nd half of our exciting PBA season. Wild card matchup, Shafer and Waliczek. Bidding for a 5th title today in his career, and a great start on lane 29 for Ryan Shafer.
The last time we saw Ryan Shafer on pattern B was the Empire State Open in Albany, New York. Ryan Shafer won that tournament.
Somehow, someway, Lonnie Waliczek has been able to rebound from last week's unbelievable moment, as we'll tell you about in our broadcast in a few minutes down the road. Perfect start in the pocket as we check in with the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup range.
Pretty tight match here, but when it's coming down to crunch time and you need a strike, check out the strike percentage of Lonnie Waliczek. Almost 10% higher than Ryan Shafer. Slow start for Lonnie Waliczek. Bad news when you're bowling single game match on television. Good news though when you're bowling match play, because he really kicked it up a notch. Games 2 through 7, averaging almost 244.
Remember last week, Lonnie also bowling in the wild card match, 1-2. Then the incredible disappointment for Walter Ray Williams Jr. when he needed a mark in the 10th and could not do it. What a look of entire bewilderment on the face of Lonnie Waliczek.
This week we have added board numbers on the approach. This should help us better quantify the subtle adjustments that players make frame to frame and game to game. Ryan Shafer playing the deep inside line, about 15 boards further left with his feet than Lonnie Waliczek.
Starting way right on his approach to the pocket, and the ball comes in very light for Ryan Shafer. He's shaking his head.
Ball doesn't work on that way.
Pretty puzzled.
Just a big whiff. I mean, this ball just never had a chance. We get to the lane animation. I'll show you why that ball didn't get back, but the lanes are slick from the outside part of the lane.
34th career TV appearance, third of this season for Ryan Shafer. Recovers nicely, not an easy spare, as he picks up the remaining 3 pins. 226.84 average for him, an 11-9 match play record. Lost.
Absolutely.
That's why he is the
pure
wild
shots.
card, but had the highest of the losers in the round of 8. His 18 games of qualifying heading in to match play. 3 rounds of best of 7, so he's down 10 here. Double to start. Lonnie Waliczek bidding for his first title of the year. Good adjustment as he moves to the other lane.
Well, he doesn't like his reaction on the right lane. He's got a good look on the left lane, but he's got to figure it out if he's going to take down Lonnie Waliczek. That ball crosses about the 3rd air on the left side or the 25th board for right-hander. Last week we saw Lonnie playing the deep inside line, really throwing that big hook ball. It shows you how versatile he is right away, going nice and straight.
Looks for a turkey ball to start. A little high, it's okay, gets a break.
Yeah, he sure did. Nice break, tripping the 9, Dave.
He'll gladly take that. Plenty of smiles for Lonnie.
Love tap on the 9. This is for a 3-bagger. Lonnie likes that little break.
Lonnie is 8th in the PBA Tour rankings coming in. Over 105,000 points to his credit. So even without a win, as he told us last night, basically just have to show up. For the last several tournaments of this season, he should be exempt next year. However, the desire, the thirst is still there for Lonnie after last week's disappointment.
Atta baby! All right! Good start.
Last week we saw Lonnie Waliczek playing the deep inside line. The further in you are, the more you go away with the ball, the more you want your hand on the side. Look how his hand gets on the side. That gets the ball to push right and feed left. This week, although he's much further right, this is in warm-up. Look how his hand's much more up the back of it. We're only talking a couple of inches, but if you think about it, a couple of inches creates a lot more rotation on the bowling ball.
Light again. The board's not only the 7-10, gets help with a 7 late. He'll take all 10 down.
Watch this. 8, 9, 10.
Hop, skip, and a jump to boot for Ryan Shafer, who told us last night how much he enjoys this center here in Medford. Lava Lanes. Proprietors doing an unbelievable job. He said you really feel like a professional athlete, man, as you know when you're here.
This is probably the best stop on the tour for us.
See how far left he was, adjusting on the left of the TV pair. And trouble getting into the pocket again.
Looked a little firm on this shot. When you throw it too hard on the oil we use on the PBA Tour of the ball, hydroplanes. Coming in light, leaving the 2-4-5.
He's already won, we know that. He'd like to get to the top of the money list. That's his goal. Wow, covers again on a fairly difficult spare. Now to keep your goals and focus in mind after you've won. Lonnie has not. But the guys who are exempt already, good example, Robert Smith, won in Omaha. We have not seen him on a show since. Got to create your new motivations and focus. Speaking of focus, this guy's the master of it. Who somehow, with his 12-3 match play record, 227.09 average, somehow, some way, after the unbelievable letdown of last week in Seattle, he is here again, amazing us all. Of the 5, the only one to avoid going 7 in match play from the round of 32 through the round of 8. All best of 7 matches.
Last night, needed the first strike in the 10th frame against Tommy Jones to get back here today. He flushed all 3 in the 10th.
So he's over it. He works with a sports psychologist very closely. It's about focus with Lonnie Waliczek. When we return, we'll hear from Lonnie about rebounding from that emotional heartbreak of last week. And we'll wrap up this wild card match between Ryan Shafer and Waliczek. We'll also break down oil pattern B when we return to Medford, Oregon. ESPN's exclusive live coverage of the PBA Medford Open is brought to you by Uniroyal, the official tire of the PBA Tour. Uniroyal tires, trusted by American families since 1892. By the official candy bar of the PBA, Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal. And by Miller High Life, to live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life. Crater Lake National Park, over 183,000 acres in south central Oregon, one of the oldest national parks in the country. Third year the PBA Tour is here in Medford at this beautiful center, Lava Lanes. We welcome you back with our entire crew, Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson. Arguably one of the most dramatic and disappointing moments of any player, any time in PBA Tour history, Randy, last week with Lonnie Waliczek in Seattle, but he's back today.
Well, you know, if you look up mental fortitude in the dictionary, you'll see a picture of Lonnie Waliczek. He needed a mark in the 10th frame last week to beat Walter Ray Williams Jr. and leaves a devastating washout that he fails to convert. But a true champion takes adversity head on and rebounds from it. That's why Lonnie's back on TV today.
The feelings that I had after watching that ball do what it did, I think were just simply a little disbelief. That turned into frustration and some anger. And then after that, there was a little bit of sadness because I knew I couldn't get that shot back. And, you know, it's a title and it's a little money. But I've had a lot of support since then. And I think that, as much as anything, has helped me kind of get through this week.
Just amazing to see him back. Talk about mental focus, and he's bowling well so far in the wild card match. 43 feet, lane pattern B. Good for the Boomers this week, Randy.
Good for Boomers. Pattern B, good for if you got the power ball. All the players played in this week because the outside part of the lane was very slick. But instead of them players moving in or to the left when the lanes broke down, they actually moved to the right. A lot of what Lonnie Waliczek is doing right now, straight and firm up the second arrow.
All the latest info on the PBA Tour, just a mouse click away, www.pba.com. And now the Tour's official website has been updated. We feature live scoring, beginning with a round of 32 match play, continuing through the end of each tournament. Live scoring, much more at all at pba.com. Log on today. Back to Shafer. Look light.
Wow.
Another break.
It was light.
I think maybe next time Lonnie gets up, I'll tackle him.
Yeah, he may have to. Lonnie Waliczek perfect through 6 frames. Ryan Shafer, if he strikes out, can shoot 257. Ryan Shafer told me last night, you know, Randy, I hated pattern B last year. This year, a win on pattern B.
10-pin for Shafer on the left of the TV pair, however, with the 6-packer to start things for Lonnie. The unbelievable start. It might be impossible to catch. That's a lot of the bowlers last night. If they've been in a similar situation Lonnie was last week in Seattle, and all of them have been at one time or another in match play throughout their amateur careers, where you need a mark in the 10th. Something so easy and so everyday for these guys at this level just doesn't happen. Rebounding quickly. Since the round of 8, on fire. Seven straight, does he have it? Not quite. 2-pin.
Fortunate not to leave the 10-pin with that. This is an easy 9 spare for Lonnie, who will be going at a 249 pace, meaning that if he strikes spares the rest of the game, fills 20 pins a frame, he will shoot 249.
Covers, takes care of the mark. What's on the line today? And the march to the World Championship. Plenty of points, $40,000 as well. Pete right now has not won on tour this year. Hasn't won since last year in North Carolina. But he's number 1 on the tour rankings. 25,000 points to be won today. 20,000 for the runner-up. Brad Angelo also looking for a first career tour title. So they have not earned automatic exemption, but really, are they locked is the question now? Yeah, pretty much. With a great year. And a great shot from Lonnie, who says he got 35 phone calls or so after last week's disappointment in Seattle.
Well deserving, too, because you don't like to see anybody lose a tournament the way Lonnie did. But by throwing shots like that, Lonnie's going to be very difficult to beat.
Shafer, a win at Albany. Runner-up to Patrick Healy Jr. on Long Island. He's in the pocket there.
Switched balls on the right lane, and you notice that the last 2 strikes he threw on the right lane were very marginal.
This is disturbing.
Went to a more aggressive ball, and that ball goes dead flush. And right now for Ryan Shafer, he has to strike out. 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, and hope that Lonnie Waliczek has an open in either the 9th or 10th frame to have any chance to win this game.
Desperately needed the strike to keep this thing going and keep his faint hopes alive. He's done that.
Well, there's still life, and as we saw last week, anything can happen on the PBA Tour. Again, another light hit. Right now, Lonnie Waliczek, all he has to do is stay clean in the 9th and 10th. Any kind of a mark, spare or strike, 9th and 10th frame.
Foundation frame here, strike for a 42-pin lead. That looked high through the nose.
And that could have been disastrous.
3-6 up.
3-6 up is much better than the 3-4-6-7, which was facing Lonnie. Even the 3-6-9-10. But right now, just a 3-6 spare. Straight and hard at it with a plastic ball that doesn't hook.
Takes care of the 3-6. Of all those phone calls, Lonnie said one from his cousin was the best, who didn't call after Seattle's disappointment to console Lonnie, but said, hey, add up all the numbers right now. All you really have to do is enter the remaining events on the tour, and you're exempt. So look at it as a positive. And Lonnie said that really was the most poignant and valuable call of all he got. Of course, his wife, Amy, was wonderful as usual. And building him up for the next week, which he's done so well.
Well, with a spare here, Lonnie's going to win. If he misses this, we have a possibility of a tie, but I don't see Lonnie missing this 2-pin. And straight up the back, that release coming right up the back end of the ball. This one was just pulled. And again, another nice break, not leaving the 310, so avoids 2 disasters in the 9th and 10th frame.
Lonnie has wrapped it up. He'll be off to the semifinals, a second straight week from that wild card position, or that match he's had to work out of, which is not easy. So the week ends for Shafer, who's bowled very well.
Another great week for Ryan Shafer, who before he won in Latham, he was 83rd on the point list. Coming into this week, he's 12th on the point list. Big turnaround for Ryan Shafer. You won't see the last of him. And Lonnie Waliczek, after the disaster last week, wins another game on television. What a rebound for that young man right there.
Ryan very happy with the way this year has gone, not only for himself with a victory, but he thinks with the exemption next year that's brought out the best in bowlers throughout the entire tour. Like
A little shaky down the stretch, but got through the first one.
That's back home to the family in Wichita. Brad Angelo on the right, Tommy Lutz Jr. on the left. That's the next match, semifinal from here in Medford. And as Ryan pointed out, hey, guys are coming in 8 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, even on days they're not bowling, to practice and get ready.
I tried.
Guys like Tommy DeLutz, who's not clinched a spot next year. Angelo, as we mentioned, second in tour points, pretty much there, but he hasn't clinched yet. So the motivation is there, and the better bowling is a result.
I think every player on the telecast today, even though not everybody has won, they're guaranteed a spot next year.
Go get him. Waliczek is through to the semifinals. He'll take on the legend Hall of Famer PDW Pete Weber